What is up, scrubs? Welcome to tier list video. So this is our sunset set 5 tier list. So we said in the beginning when we made our first tier list that we're gonna make the tier list and then we will correct it later on. So that's what we're doing here. By the way, I'm joined by Cody. Hey, Cody.
Hail adventures.
So we got a lot wrong. As
this time,
can see.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think we did. We really missed a lot, but a lot of that's due to like just we were ahead of the curve on how to play Janemba early, and we didn't get testing against like people who really were good at like Halo or people who've like got Boo figured out yet. And it really took a few weeks, like, because I mean, I basically like just scrambled everybody on client with Janemba day one. Like,
Yeah, same.
Easy ranks. Like I was like 22 wins and 0 losses at one point. It was insane. So our early testing was definitely based off of like, wow, we could play this Jund-like deck very well because we've played Jund-like decks for so long.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Yep, and then we had to wait for the other people to actually catch up, and now we kind of see that Janemba was still very good. So keep that in mind. We did not get Janemba being like a Z tier deck wrong. There are just other decks in the tier with him that are, you know, at least the same power.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, we fell to the making the tier list after untap. Yep, that's true. We did.
Yeah, but I played so many games. I had like 160 games for
yeah, and like I was just crushing everyone with Janemba when we were testing. Like I didn't lose. Like I barely lost. Like I'd never lost. And then the Halo crew matchup was easy. Like even now, like Janemba's really good into Halo crew. So I just didn't think Halo crew was going to be a thing. Just because if it loses to the best deck, like it's not going to be a thing.
Unfortunately, Boo was a big mess. I honestly think that looking back at set 4, Boo was only kept in check by the existence of Jiren, basically.
Yep.
And we even seen that a little bit again in set 5, where Jiren was starting to be played specifically to answer Boo. And it forced Boo to play a line where like they really want to go second. They'd want to crack marker for freeze and then just leave it inactive. And like they just use their turn 3 with marker to do that. And they just sit basically. And that was like an issue, I think, is Jiren. Jiren, I think, is our biggest miss. Out of anything else on this list, I think the biggest failure that we had was Jiren. I honestly regret that. To be fair, if Janemba was the most played deck, Jiren was unplayable.
Yeah, Jiren's not playable.
Kind of how it works.
Jiren was just bad. That's how testing went too. Like Jiren just lost every game to Janemba. But,
yeah, it was just
that's not how it went.
No, it's not. So Jiren ended up being really good because everybody was just playing Boo. Like Boo is still far more popular than Halo, even though Halo is a very good deck. Like I think it's arguably much better than Boo. But the issue is it's just like it's less played because 1, there's a lot more actions. 2, it's a lot harder to play well.
So there's a lot of curve,
Halo Q. Yeah, there's like a heavy, and Boo kind of just plays itself. It's like, oh, I've got Bobbity plus SR on 3. I'm just gonna do that, and it's good enough, right? It's kind of like gonna be what Broly does to people next set, where he just like kind of does his thing, and if you can't do anything about it, you just lose. So I think that there's nothing really like outlandish about some of our predictions because it was like really just based off of for me it was based off over like 100 something games of untap testing, and it's like this is our sunset tier list. And I think we talked about we were going to change it halfway through the set. We forgot to do that, and so we're just going to do it now just before set 6 drops.
Yep,
and I think we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit more set 6 testing before we give you guys like a definitive tier list on that. However, I do think just before we even do that, Android 18 is the worst red deck. I'm just going to say that right now.
Okay. I believe you. I don't know. I haven't really played it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go bottom to top. We're going to start with our lowest rated deck and go all the way to our top rated deck from the first set list for the first tier list here. And we will just change it based on what we think now.
Yep. We're going to completely adjust this list.
All right, we're going to start with Diamond Vegeta. And we're probably just going to leave it here for now.
Yeah, well, I think like so. Here's my issue with just like looking back again. I think any of these blue decks could have just been somewhere in competitive, with the exception of Blue Gohan. So like because they could just fit the Satan City package, the decks were all like good. So just really dependent on what flavor you wanted your leader to be. Goku being the generic best one for the deck, but Daima Vegeta was specifically good at killing Halo-Ku because his leader effect would actually remove sharpeners. So you'd both be playing the same deck except your leader removes stuff. Basically, like how that matchup went. So yeah, I think like every blue deck that wasn't Gohan was technically somewhere in competitive.
I'll put it at the low.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's more than fine.
And while we're talking about Gohan, we'll just put Gohan here.
Yeah. Well, no, Gohan stays casual. I think he's. Oh, you put him on the bottom. Yeah, he's
it's right here. Okay. Next we'll go to Top Ku, and I think Top Ku just kind of stays here as well.
Yep. I don't think we touch him.
Yep. Green Gohan again. I feel like all the green decks were kind of not as good as we thought they were going to be too.
Well, I thought it was just going to be Nameku and Droids, which it did at least turn out.
It kind of
that
was.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cell I think was actually a little bit better than I gave credit. I just don't think.
I think it's.
I just don't see him. Yeah, I think he's fine in casual.
I'm actually just gonna put Cell right next to Gohan now.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah. Starter Ku, my boy.
Z tier, best leader. Best leader.
Yeah, I mean,
next set he'll be pretty decent. This set, no, he was pretty bad. There's like no reason to play him over any of the other red decks. Yeah, so I don't think we missed him at all.
Yeah. Okay, so Boo. Boo was one we were you kind of fell in love with late in the format. Explain.
Yeah, this deck is really cool. So this deck, like, yeah, when it came out, its game plan wasn't like very cohesive, and it didn't really do a lot. It just kind of lived a long time and died, and it had no like real way to kill you. And then it got the Frieza secret rare, and then its ability to live a long time kind of actually mattered against some matchups, and especially early on with everybody, because early on you got to remember everyone jumped on Nameku. Nameku was the deck that most people were playing right from the jump.
It was.
So Boo was really good at killing the shit out of that deck.
Nameku and Vegito were, and they were.
Yeah, Nameku and Vegito.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Boo was like strangely very good at beating both of those decks, like into the dirt. So I think Boo actually was a big miss. I don't think he was a casual tier deck because he actually had some smoke against a lot of decks. Like he felt like he could fight most of the other like high tier decks with the exception of Janemba, but he like felt like he could even fight Boo fine sometimes, like Boo tanks. The blocker Vegeta is a really powerful card in that matchup.
Very good.
And you get quite a few like good specific answers. I think that he was actually like maybe a low comp deck. Somebody could have topped with this. I just don't think anybody was willing to put in the time or the effort that it would have taken, and there's no reason to do that when you could just play Evil Boo. It doesn't mean this deck's bad, it just means there's a much simpler, easier option that's going to probably get your results a little bit more consistently. Yep. I do think this deck was a comp power deck, though. I
agree. I have a video on it. It was really fun. It really surprised me. Overperformed. It was great. Really fun. All right, Goku Black can just stay here. I'm so sick of this deck. There. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
Bardock. I have played against the. I don't think this is a miss. I think Bardock is just like very casual.
I guess he could be. I mean, the thing is, like, just all the black decks in general were good enough, and this deck got a top 4, like a pretty major top 4. So he could have just done it with Baby. He could have just done it with Gogeta. Like, Bardock wasn't the reason he got top 4, to be completely honest with you. It had nothing to do with the fact that this leader was Bardock.
It's probably closer to here.
It's definitely a comp deck, but just keep in mind, if somebody topped with this, it's just because Black is very good. It's not that Bardock is like, but the leader is strictly worse than Baby and
But
Gogeta.
That's the same argument we gave to Vegeta.
Yep.
And we're putting so Vegeta and Bardock
I
can just sit
think
next
it's
to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty similar.
Yep.
All right, Vegeta, we're just going to leave this here. I'm going to put it down here. This deck sucks.
Oh, don't say that.
This deck sucks.
I like that deck. It's cool. Sorry, Dev. I tried.
He's in chat, yeah. Okay. Green Vegeta got a top 18? Whatever. I don't care. Okay. Jiren. Take it away. I know you found out with Jiren late.
This was the biggest miss that we had, period. I would get tier 1 wrong before getting Jiren wrong again. Like this is crazy. So Jiren was not good early. The first couple weeks of the game, awful. Getting like set 5 early. But as the meta developed, as the game shifted, and as Janemba started to not be like played at all, and the only yellow deck that was seeing play was basically Boo or Vegeta yellow, Jiren kind of came in and like stomped those decks, like just manhandled them essentially. Like I basically just played this deck to God, like hella fast. Like this deck was just like a free God rank for a little bit there. Very powerful deck. It did really well throughout the entirety of set 5. It had enough top cuts. It won a couple of events. And I didn't expect that at all. I was like, well, if Janemba's the most played deck, this deck is unplayable. Unfortunately, Janemba was not the most played deck. This deck was very playable. This was 100% a either like top of top comp or a Z tier deck. This was a very, very good deck.
So yes, I agree. We're going to have, I feel like a trifecta of top decks. So I'm just gonna put it here for now.
Yep.
And then we'll organize it when we get up there. Broly was kind of like really unplayable.
Yeah, he just stays. Maybe he just moves next to the other green leaders.
Yeah, he's the best of these 3, I think. Maybe Cell's actually slightly better. Cell can do more. Oops.
I mean, I don't think it matters. Yeah. As long as we're in the same tier, I don't think it matters as much.
All right, next we're gonna go to Beerus, and Beerus is like fine. I feel like Beerus wasn't that good.
I think Beerus was pretty damn good actually. I think he's like
steamrolled every Beerus I played against.
I don't care what you did. I care about what they actually did and how well they actually performed. Beerus did pretty good.
Did Beerus actually perform though?
Yeah, Beerus had a couple. He had a couple top spots. Let me go. I can actually pull it up on Eggman events if you'd like.
Yeah.
But he had a couple top spots.
I didn't think Beerus did anything.
I thought he had like 2 top spots. I'm gonna double check though. I don't wanna say that and then be wrong about that because it'd be awful. But I will double check FBO5 event.
That's fine. I'll leave him in competitive for now until
he topped the Pasadena regional. And then he had another one. I'm just trying to remember where it is. He topped the winner box. Okay, so he had one major regional top. He had one major,
so like
but
same
it was
it
was the largest regional we had though. So
okay, all right, we'll keep him in competitive then. That's fine. All right, Ginyu was a big miss. Ginyu sucks.
Yeah, Ginyu sucks, dude. That deck just was like not played.
Yep. We'll just go next. Trunks, I feel like was good. Like it's just a blue deck. It does slightly more than I think Vegeta does. And the blue package is just good.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Wait, I gotta answer Dev really quick. Dev. Vegeta did not get a top spot. It got a top 18. Okay? Top is top 16 or better. Unless the event is a top 32 cut to a top 32, like, top cut where they play. So since that didn't happen, Vegeta did not get a top. He got a, like, higher tier prizing. No, I'm not letting you have that. I'm not letting you have it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Beerus actually got a slot. He did not.
All right, sure. I think Trunks is still like slightly competitive, but I think he's a little bit lower because like why use Trunks over the better one?
Oh yes, Cell also got one top at the Sunday Pasadena Regional. I did forget about that. He has to move up because of that.
Sure.
But no, don't put him in comp. He can be low comp. He got a top. He did pretty good. That was a 218 person event where he topped. I forgot he was 7th.
That's slightly bigger than a Magic Winner box, so that's fine.
Yeah, it was 7th, 6, and 1 was where he was by the end of that.
All right. Okay, so we're done with we'll just. What were we on? I don't even remember. Trunks. Yeah, Trunks will stay there.
Yep, Trunks.
Big miss on Piccolo, but we're just gonna always leave Piccolo in competitive because that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always leaving him competitive because it's just funny because it triggers people.
No,
put him at the top of competitive.
Sure. Over Boo right now.
Yeah, over Boo. I love that. That
Same.
should be the thumbnail right there.
You know what? That should be the thumbnail. Okay.
But Daima 1, I guess?
Yeah, so Daima 1 was way better than we thought it would be.
Yeah, I personally still liked that leader. I just thought that the aggro version of Daima 2 was initially going to be like really, really good. Turns out it wasn't. Because it was like it had a lot of gas. It might be good now.
Fine.
Next set. It was fine, yeah. Daima 1 was definitely better. Daima 1 was the in my opinion second best red deck.
I think Daima 1 was a top competitive deck. This deck was very good.
Yeah.
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 I'm gonna put it next to Jiren for now.
That's right. Yeah, that's fine.
Where are we? Cooler. Cooler was a big miss. We'll put
Casual.
Cooler right next to Vegeta.
Put him behind Vegeta. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah, justice for Dev.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are his 2 favorite decks, so.
Well, I mean, okay, wait. Dev, you can choose. Do you want Vegeta above Cooler or Cooler above Vegeta? You're getting the actual authority on this one. We'll leave it
there. While he answers, we'll go with U7. I think U7 was pretty decent. I will leave Vegeta in.
I honestly think U7 Goku, like the one like really tanky build, was very good. I think that
the
deck
one
was
with
actually,
Gohan, yeah.
Yeah, I think that deck was actually very, very good.
I think
that deck could have actually done stuff. Power wise, I would personally like be putting that in the bottom of top comp, but I think it's more of a comp deck.
I think it's like right here.
Yeah, it's very strong. It was a deck that like you just took games off. Like I have like replays where I beat rank 6 God player with this. Like it was very, very, it was very good. I made him deck out.
Oh,
it was pretty funny. But it was a very good deck. Yeah, play this deck. It's very good.
All right, Halo Coup, we're gonna put here, and we'll talk about it later.
Just straight there. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, when we get to the main Z decks, we'll talk about that. UI Goku, I think this deck was like actually perfectly fine.
Yeah, the deck was fine. It was playable. The only matchup you didn't want was Boo. Other than that, you felt fine. Yeah, it was like as long as you didn't fight Boo, you felt fine.
This deck was so good into Halo Coup too. Like this was insane.
Oh yeah, there were some matchups like a lot of random decks you just beat for free. Like it was pretty crazy. I still don't see how people can like read this deck and just assume it's bad. I just assume anybody who just dog walks this deck in terms of like their opinion of it, just isn't a control player at all. Like they don't understand how control works, and people still to this day don't understand. One incorrect decision with this deck on turn 3 will lose you the game. You cannot make wrong decisions playing this deck. Like every choice you make has to be very, very precise. You have to be playing like turns ahead of your opponent, basically, and calculating what you're gonna need on what turns when. It's. I think the problem with this deck is it's just very hard to play well, for the result that you get with it. So I think it's a comp deck, but it's just really hard to play.
I agree. Vegito, we were like almost 100% right on this deck. This deck kind of sucked.
Yeah, I think it did stuff, but I think it was all like as a weird, like tanky. Let me look. It did get tops, so yeah, we were right about where it would be. It was just gonna be a competitive deck. Yeah.
Right in the middle of competitive, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just stays there.
Yeah, just stays right where it is. I think it's perfectly fine there. Gogeta, the better fusion. Gogeta. What do you think about him?
I thought Gogeta was like pretty decent. Like all the black decks are just like good. Like black is just a fine color. It just doesn't have the end game that you want. And where now we're getting the 6 drop, this deck's going to be a lot better. But I still think it was competitive.
Yeah.
Sort of like pretty much right here, just above Vegito. I think it's fine here.
Mm-hmm.
Completely wrong about Boo, and we're gonna move him to Z and talk about it later.
Yep.
And now we'll just go up to Vegeta. Vegeta was not a top.
Comp.
This was not a top.
He was. No, he's well. So hold on. He could have been if people just played him Satan City. They just didn't. Decided they were just gonna play Halo Coup instead.
Yeah.
All the blue leaders with the Satan City package are pretty good. I think Vegeta was slightly better than Trunks and Daima as Satan City packages. Besides Halo Coup, he could have been top comp. People just didn't play him. Really, no reason to when you could just play Halo Coup. He was definitely strong enough to be there. Just no reason to play him.
Yeah, I think it's still just better than Vegito. People are just on Vegito because it was new.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens. Baby was absolutely the best black deck.
It wasn't even close. Yeah, Baby was, I think, the only reason to play black this set. Like, honestly, Baby was so good. It dominated, like, early right away. It got a top 4 at the first regional. And then it proceeded to get, like, more top cuts throughout the set. This is absolutely a top comp deck.
Yeah,
and if you were a competent Baby pilot... Yeah, if you were a competent Baby pilot, every matchup besides Halo Coup felt really good. And Halo Coup just felt like you had to fully kit your deck out to fight it. Like you had to play 4 Giru, you had to be using Trunkses to pick up Girus. It was awful. Felt bad to play. But your matchup into Boo was fine. Your matchup into Jiren was fine. You could fight Janemba well. You fought like every other deck fine. The deck was good.
Yeah, it was. And then this black deck was just, it felt
unplayable.
So bad. Yeah, it was really
unplayable. It was casual.
This probably goes, I'm going to put it above Ginyu.
Yeah, it's just doing the exact opposite of what Black wants to do. It's like you wanting to spend your marker, but all of Black's best cards are defensive options. If you're spending the marker on them, like Ultimate Sparking, you cannot afford to do that with this deck. You need to be spending your marker aggressively, and it's not a good way to play Black this set, so it got punished for it.
And I don't think it's a good way to play Black moving forward, and I just feel like this is just going to stay here for a while. It's unfortunate. Droids was
still
awful.
top comp.
I hated playing against Droids because I was always on Janemba, and this was probably my hardest matchup. But yeah, this deck is still good. I think it's at the low end of top comp just because the green decks were kind of meh.
I'm gonna come out and say something I think crazy. I think this is actually pretty high in top comp. It had the results, but it was only like 2 or 3 players that got anywhere with this deck. So it's so hard for me to, like, Droids is like impossible to gauge, right? Because after set 2, people always complained about them, but they just weren't getting the results aside from like 1 or 2 times. Like they didn't win a single nationals. They were in top cut several times. They didn't win. Every single nationals was basically taken by Halo Coup, you know, when that set came out.
Yeah.
It's just like Droids are still good. They're still a top comp deck, but they're definitely not like the very tippy top like they used to be. I don't even think people can complain about 4-drop Droids anymore. I think that the game's now at the point where 4-drop Droids is like, it's an unfair card, but the deck itself is pretty fair, so it like needs that. So I think Droids is still top comp, but it's definitely not like, I would put it, like, if we were to take this list right now, I would put it where Zamasu is.
Yeah, and that's probably where it will end up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where it will end up after we go through the rest. Nameku, I think, was just worse. I still think it was like low end top comp just because everyone played it.
Yeah.
And
it did really well.
Had results. But towards the end of the format, it just kind of fell off.
Actually, how many results did it even get in this set? I'm curious now.
Didn't it?
I
do not keep up with it. With that, so
I'm double checking for you to see if it got a single top. It won a triple win a box and then never did anything again.
Oh, all right, we're gonna put it here then.
Yeah, I didn't think that deck was top.
We'll put it below Piccolo.
Yeah, it's got to be below Piccolo. Yeah, heck that guy.
Yeah, whatever.
I know one person who's gonna get real upset over that.
I can't wait. I can't wait for people to get mad. All right, Freezer was kind of a miss.
Yeah, I think Frieza was good, but it's like, again, your other yellow options are just so much better. Why play it? So I just think you just move it to like bottom of like competitive.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it above
behind
Cell.
Boo even. No, Cell got a result. You can't do that.
No, but he's cool. He's the cooler villain.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair,
Yeah.
done. Does that mean that Halo Q is the coolest villain?
Yes.
All right, I'm here
for
it.
What are we at? This?
Yep, that deck got results. So I think it stays right where it is.
Yeah, I think this is perfect right here, and I think Zamasu is kind of perfect here too.
I think Zamasu takes Daima 2's spot.
Well, we're about to get to Daima 2 and we're gonna move it.
Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah, I think honestly these three, we were kind of right about all of these. I think like these are all just good decks.
Yeah.
Yep. Daima 2, I think, was really good early in the format, and then it fell off because people knew how to play against it. But I'm still gonna I'm just gonna put it down here. I still think it's a very good deck.
I think if you're gonna put it's like in competitive. This deck got nothing.
But it's so fun.
Nothing. It did nothing. It did literally nothing.
Is it better than U7? Probably not, actually. Now that
I don't think so. No, I think U7 smacks that.
Yeah, it kind of does, man. That's unfortunate.
I legit think you could put U7 into top comp in the bottom and it would be fine. I legitimately think the deck is that good. But nobody's going to play it and we're at the end of the set, so it doesn't matter where we have it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then Daimo we put up here. I think this is fine. Exactly where it is. I think Baby is fine here.
I think Zamasu is better than Daima 1. I think Zamasu and Vegeta. Like, I think Daima 2 was the bottom of top comp. or Daima 1 was the bottom.
You think so?
Comp. Yeah, all the other decks did better than it, but Daima 1 was still being played.
I think Daima 1, it was kind of better than these decks, though.
No.
It just felt that way.
It definitely was not. It has one top cut at the Pasadena Regional, and that's it. So it's the same as South.
Whatever. I like it better.
Yellow Vegeta got a couple, though. Yellow Vegeta got several, though. Yellow Vegeta
actually. Yeah, Yellow Vegeta was good. Yellow Vegeta was good. I think we were right about those. All right. So now we're going to leave Baby at the complete top of top comp, and we're going to talk about Janemba. Oh, Janemba.
Wait, did we just move Jiren to Z?
Oh, my bad. That was an accident. I went to go click on Janemba.
Oh.
All right.
Janemba, I think Janemba stays where he is.
I think Janemba was such a good deck, just no one played it right. Or no one played it the correct way at first. Everyone was trying to do like the aggro stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gets gate kept by Boo because Boo just kind of beats up on it. But I still think Janemba is just one of the best decks.
Yeah, and then it just like has an okay match in the Halo and fights top comp real well. Like it doesn't have any bad matchups aside from Boo on the whole list, basically. Which is the
well, I mean, this is the hardest. This is harder than Boo. This matchup
I don't know,
is
man.
harder than Boo.
I felt Droids was easier than if Boo hit like the discard 2. I honestly felt if Boo hit the discard 2 on you, it was really, really rough.
If Boo hit the 2 discard, like you can still win that game. If this went 4-drop droids into 4-drop droids, you just were never winning.
That's like most decks fighting droids, though. To be fair, if they get the high roll, it's kind of like
yeah. But like if we're gonna judge both of these on the high roll, this was a much harder matchup than this.
4-drop droids into 4-drop droids is a lot less likely than going like 3-drop into
Bobbity
SR.
into Boo. You're right. You're right. That's a good point. Man, that's so annoying. This deck was so annoying.
Yeah. I think those are the 3 top decks overall. But Jiren probably has more results than Janemba, so I honestly think you could put Jiren up there and it would be fine.
Yeah,
like, Jiren should be in.
Let's move Jiren up here.
I think that's our actual best decks of the set.
I think it's like this.
Halo Q was ahead of Boo, but other than that, I agree.
I think Boo was the best deck. And
Halo Q won everything. Halo Q was first place in like every event. There's only like a couple where he didn't win. Yeah.
Fine.
Halo Q is definitely the best deck.
I guess I just run into this so much more.
You'll play against more Boos, but you have to understand what's actually like winning all the events when we're trying to. Yeah, so just to be like in order of fairness here, we've been going to the actual tournament results for a lot of this now. So
yeah, and I don't think we should really do that much anymore. The tournament results.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I think it's fine though for us to look back because that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're just like looking back.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine to look back and see how everything was, but I mean, if we're just gonna go, yeah, whatever, it's fine. This is probably the most objectively correct you can get.
Yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. I think
there's nothing wrong with this. Now it is.
All right, and no, put him in the top of Z. We need our thumbnail.
There we go. I need the thumbnail, right? Okay.
We need the thumbnail. Let's go.
Cool. All right. So that's it for today. Thanks, Cody, for hanging out. Where can everyone find you?
Still being locked in the cage in your Discord.
That's right. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.